Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prep video. So today I am doing a buffet style meal prep. I'm going to prep some lunches and some breakfast, and I'm going to show you at the end of the video is how I'm going to put these components together to create my lunches for the week. So stay tuned for that at the end. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this rotisserie chicken I got at Costco, and I'm going to go ahead and take all the skin off and remove the chicken from the bones. I'm going to separate the dark meat from the white meat, and that way I can only eat just the breast meat is what I usually only eat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And here it is. So I have a pretty large bowl of the white meat and just a small bowl of the dark meat. So next up, I need to chop up quite a few vegetables for different components for the rest of this meal prep. So I need to cut up some green onions, some red bell pepper, also need to cut up some zucchini, a cucumber I will be having for snacks this week. I need to cut up some cilantro and also some red cabbage for my Thai salad. And then also I am going to have some little mini peppers to go with my cucumbers and carrots for snacks this week. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and prepare some sweet potato wedges that I'm going to cook in my air fryer. This is going to be for some snacks or side dish or whatever through the week that I'm going to go ahead and make also some homemade guacamole, which I am not going to show in this video because I make it as I have it. But I will be cooking these potato wedges ahead of time in my air fryer, and then I have them to dip into my guacamole. The day I have these, I will just heat them up in the microwave or even in the air fryer. So I'm just going to cut all these potatoes into wedges of approximately the same size. And then in a bowl, I'm going to take the potatoes, put them in there. I'm going to take a half of a tablespoon of avocado oil and put that on top. I'm just doing it in batches to make sure they all get coated pretty nicely. And then I'm going to use some of this seasoning salt from Trader Joe's, which I absolutely love. And I'm just going to continue doing that until all the potatoes are coated with the oil and the seasoning salt. So next up, I need to cook some quinoa. So I have a cup of quinoa here that I have already rinsed and gotten ready. And then I'm going to put in 2 cups of liquid. I like to use a half of the liquid to be some kind of chicken broth. So I have 8 ounces of chicken broth, and then the rest of it I'm going to put water. So it's 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of liquid. So I have 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 cup of water. And I'm going to give that a good stir and then bring it to a boil on the stove. And then once it comes to a boil, I'll turn it to simmer and then put the lid on it and just let it do its thing. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes or so to absorb all the liquid. And now I'm ready to cook my sweet potato fries. So I'm going to put these in my air fryer basket. I'm going to cook these at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And next up, I'm going to go ahead and get my vegetables ready to roast up. I'm going to be using this as a side dish for my lunches this week. So I have some zucchini in there. I'm going to put the butternut squash in there. I'm weighing it out because butternut squash does have points on Points Plus, but they are free on Freestyle. And the same with these Fiesta style vegetables that I get from Kroger. They also have points because they have beans in there. They have very few beans, but they do have some beans in there. They have like kidney beans and navy beans and garbanzo beans. So I'm just going to weigh all of that out. And then I'm going to put a half of a tablespoon of avocado oil to the entire batch and also add in some of the same seasoning salt from Trader Joe's. And once that's all nice and coated, I'm going to go ahead and put that onto a baking sheet. I'm going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Since I will be heating this up again, I'm not too worried about making sure that it is really roasted, but I just want to get a nice, char on them. So I'm going to cook them for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So next up, I'm going to make my peanut sauce for my Thai salad. So you need a half of a cup of powdered peanut butter that you've prepared according to the instructions on the container. Then you need 2 tablespoons of some sort of either soy sauce. I'm using coconut aminos from Trader Joe's, but soy sauce is what typically is used in there. I just prefer the coconut aminos. A half of a tablespoon of minced ginger. A half of a tablespoon of minced garlic. 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. A half a teaspoon of sriracha, and a half a teaspoon of sweetener of your choice. I am using the powdered stevia. And then you might need water if you need to thin it up a little bit. I just did a little toss of water and then you just whisk it up. So I did weigh out the entire batch and then divided it by the 8 servings. So now I'm going to go ahead and measure out 4 small containers for my lunches this week, and the rest of it I'll just store in the refrigerator. So I'm just weighing out 35 grams in my little containers. I got these at the Dollar Tree. So next up, I'm going to make the Skinny Kitchen Ranch, which I've showed you guys many times. So I am taking 1 3/4 cup of low-fat buttermilk, a half of a cup of light mayo, and then 2 packages of the buttermilk ranch dressing mix from Hidden Valley. And then I'm going to give that a good stir. I'm going to be using this for my vegetables this week, so I'm going to go ahead and weigh out 35 grams in my little cups from Dollar Tree. And this will be 1 Points Plus or 1 Freestyle Smart Point. And the remainder I'm just going to pour into this jar and use it for my salads through the week. So now I'm going to go ahead and put together my snack bag. So I'm just putting some baby cut carrots, some cucumbers, and some of those mini peppers I sliced up. And then I'll just put one of the little containers of ranch dressing mix in there as well. And this will be one of my snacks that I'll have through the week. My roasted veggies are done and they turned out amazing. They smelled so good. So I'm just going to put these into a glass container and then I will have those to have with one of my lunches. And then also the quinoa is all done and ready to go. So I'm also going to put that into a glass container. And again, I will show you at the end of this video how I plan on utilizing all these components. My sweet potatoes are all done and they did get a little crispy, but I tasted a couple and they did not taste burnt, so I think they will be okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put together the Thai salad. So in a bowl, I am putting in 1 package of coleslaw mix. And I thought I was going to have to use extra carrots, but there was a lot of carrots in this one. So I did not put any extra carrots in there. But normally you would also put about 1.5 cups of carrots. And then I have the cabbage and the red pepper that I sliced earlier. So I'm just going to dump that in there. And then I'm going to add in about a half of a cup of sliced green onions, and then also about a half of a cup of cilantro. I did add a little bit more cilantro on top because I love cilantro. And then I added in a cup of shelled soybeans. This is mukamame, but you can use edamame as well. And I'm going to give that a nice and good toss and then put it into my containers. Now, I didn't all fit in my big glass container, so I did have to put some in another container. This makes a really big batch. I did put it in as 4 servings because it's going to be my main meal for my lunch, but I think you probably could get 4 to 6 servings out of it. It does come to 1 points plus because of the edamame, but it is 0 freestyle smart points. And now I'm going to work on what I'm going to have for breakfast a few days. So because I do intermittent fasting, I can never enjoy a green smoothie, and I've been craving them lately. So I'm going to go ahead and make some make-ahead green smoothies and put them in a freezer. I'm going to see how it works, and then I'll just take it out in the morning before I leave for work, and by the time I break my fast, it should be nice and thawed out. So in the blender, I am putting in 1 scoop of my favorite protein powder from Vega, don't know how to say that. I'm going to put in some of this tropical fruit blend and also a banana, and then top it off with some spinach. And I'll just be using water in that. So I'm adding in my water. I'm going to add in my scoop of protein powder, and then I'll add in my fruit and my banana, and I'm going to blend that up before I add in the spinach. I find the spinach just blends a lot better if you already have it blended up a little bit. Now I am on the don't count blended fruit bandwagon. I've always been that way. I don't drink smoothies a lot, as you guys know, and so I feel like it's okay. If I ever noticed a difference with drinking a lot of smoothies, that my weight fluctuated at all, then I would start counting the fruit. But I just personally do not do that. So you guys do your own journey as usual. If you want to count the fruit, count the fruit. But this turned out really well. I'm just really curious to see how they freeze and how all of it works out. So the first one is all done. It's always that beautiful color, you know, with green smoothies. And then I'm just going to leave some space for it to expand, and I'm going to put the lid on kind of a little bit loosely. And then I decide with the last 2, I'm just going to do 2, just like 2 scoops of powder, 2 cups of water. I'm just going to double the recipe. So everything is all done. So now let me show you how I'm going to put these components together to create my lunches. So the first lunch, I'm going to take some of the Thai salad and some of the chicken breast, and I'll chop up the chicken pretty finely, and then I'll add in some quinoa, and I'll just put that in one bowl and top it off with some peanut sauce. So that'll be one of my lunches. Oh my gosh, you guys, that sounds so amazing. And then the second lunch I'll have would be just the Thai salad with some of the chicken and some of the peanut sauce. So it's just the same thing, but just minus the quinoa. And this is just kind of the classic Thai chicken salad. And next up again is taking that same Thai salad and the chicken and the peanut sauce, but putting it into a wrap. This again is also very good. I've had this several times, and it's an amazing lunch. And then lastly, the last lunch I'll have would be like a quinoa and chicken bowl. So I'll take some quinoa and add in some chicken. I'll also probably add in some spring mix at the bottom and then top it off with some of the roasted vegetables. And I'll probably maybe add in some avocado or something like that as well. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching another meal prep video. As usual, I will have my meal prep playlist linked down below. I'll also have the recipes down below. I'm actually doing something different with my recipes. I am putting them on a Google Doc where I will have a link to that down in the description box, and I have different folders in there. It's a work in progress. I don't have a lot of recipes in there right now, but check out what I do have. This one will be in there with the points and all the ingredients you need, and so it can be easily printed and saved. And again, I will have that playlist at the end of this video, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.
I see the light inside your eyes. You make me feel like